Hey guys, and welcome to a new tutorial of editing Captain Tsubasa 2 for NES. In today's lesson, we're going to take a look at how to give a special ability, such as a shot or a dribble, to a player that does not have one. So if we take the player Gil, for instance, we'll use him as our example. I'm sure you're familiar with him. He plays in Sao Paulo as number 9 in the forward position with Tsubasa, and he has orange hair. So we could do this a couple different ways. The easier way would be to give him the abilities of somebody else, such as Zagalo, because Zagalo does not have a sprite picture, like a portrait, come up on the screen. So then Gil would just perform Zagalo's shot and also Zagalo's force dribble without any picture on the screen. But if you wanted to give him somebody else's shot who has a picture, like, for example, Nita, well, then Nita's picture is going to come up when Gil goes to shoot. So we would need to do a couple of extra steps of modifications if you wanted to give Gil the abilities of someone who has a picture. So we go over to Nita's offset and we find out the 2 bytes. There are 41 8F. And here is Gil's offset right here. So we just have to put in the 41 8F, save the ROM, and let's go and test it out. So now he's got the Falcon shot. So we try it. Now, I already went and made the modification before I started the tutorial, but I'm going to show you how to do it to get the correct picture, because you need to do something to get this picture. Otherwise, you'll just get Nita's picture. Okay, so before we go and change the picture, I just wanted to show you how to rename the shot's name, because let's say that you don't want the shot to be called Falcon. So all you have to do is go all the way to the top of your ROM where it starts with 00 and press Control F, not Control G, but Control F. So you'll get a different kind of pop-up box here. And make sure you click the text string, because it might be by default on the hex values. Make sure you click the text. And in the search box here, you just type in Falcon. Doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase. It'll work either way. And you hit enter. So right here, this, you can actually, if you're using the English version of the game, you could just type the name right here over the word Falcon. But if you're using a different version of the game, such as, let's say, the Japanese one, then that gets a bit more complex. I can cover it in a future lesson. You would need to find out the equivalent hex code for, the corresponding hex code to whatever letter that you want. And I have a list of those. I can, give it to you later on. But let's assume that you're using the English version of the game. So you just go ahead and you type in here whatever you want to name the shot. Let's say you wanted to call it Volcano, for example. So be careful, because you can't go beyond this little U with the 2 dots on top of it. That marks the end of it here. So you can either leave this S, which means shot, volcano shot, or you could just hit a space and blank it out, and make sure you don't exceed that U, like I said. So you could just call it volcano, whatever you want to call it, as long as you don't go past this U here, because it's going to affect, like the way the frame of the text looks in the game. I can show you what it's going to look like. If let's say I typed in volcano and I typed in shot, like that, and then I put in that little U, which is basically just an FC. Over here, I can type in an FC and I'll get this U here. So it may look okay. Let's take a look at it. But one thing for sure, if he goes to perform the Falcon volley, in the penalty area because remember, Gil's going to get all of Nita's abilities. He'll have the Falcon volley in the penalty area. So if you go to perform that, you'll notice that that name is going to be broken. Okay, but I'm pretty sure even the name of the Falcon, the normal Falcon shot, is going to be broken now too. So let's take a look at it. Okay, no, actually it worked. So it's fine as long as you don't care about the whatever you typed over, which in this case we went over to the Falcon volley shot. Okay, so remember that, and then here it might just show up as volley, or maybe you could put the word F here and then be, like, or maybe do Falcon V like that, for volley. It's up to you. As long as you stay within the limits of between these U's, you can explore and test with it, Okay, so we're done with renaming the shot. Now we can go over. I'll link you the video, my other video, which has a link for the hack tool, the Chinese hack tool. It's been partially translated to English. So we could take a look at it right here. So you click open file and then you choose your ROM. And you go to the player appearance tab here. And the way to find out the player names is you've got a couple of different ways. The easier one is if you go into Google Translate on your smartphone and you choose to translate from Chinese to English, and then down on the bottom right, you press the camera option. You can just hold your phone over these names and it'll actually show you the word Nita for these two players, because these two players, number 10 and number 11, are both Nita. So it'll show you the names of the players in English for all the players. That's how I found out that this was Nita. Obviously, we got one for Japan and one for Nankatsu. Another way you could tell the names if you don't have your phone with you is you go over to Team Edit up here and you choose, for example, Nankatsu. And here you can see the English names. So you can see like Kisugi, Misaki, Nita, and you could just match the letters, maybe take a screenshot of this and compare these letters, the Chinese letters, to the ones here, and you'll notice that they are exactly the same. Okay, so I already went ahead and modified this Nita. I made his shirt color white because it was red, because this was the Japan Nita. He has a red shirt. So we're making it white because we are replacing Gil, whose shirt is white. And I changed the skin color and the hair color. And this Nita here is the Nankatsu Nita, also with a white shirt, and he's got the lighter skin as well as the black hair. Okay, so this is how you do it. Now with Nita, it was pretty easy because the shape of his face and hair is pretty much the same as Gil's. The only difference is the color, the color of the skin and the color of the hair. But what if you wanted to give Gil the abilities of someone, let's say like Hyuga, whose hair's shape and face shape are completely different? You wouldn't be able to use Nita's picture. So what would you do in that case? So the answer is we would still use Nita's picture as our basic, base template, and then we would just modify, we would swap out Hyuga's and Nita's pictures. So, we would still use the hack tool to edit the color of the skin and hair for Nita's picture. And then we would go to this offset 22C78. And here we have these 2 bytes, 31B0. The B0 is Hyuga's picture, and the 31 is the frame. So to elaborate a little bit about the frame, if I put 30 here, let's go over to the ROM. So you see the way the sleeves are, you can't really see Hyuga's sleeves properly. So, to fix, you should always use 31 for Hyuga. See, that's what the 31 does. Similarly, if I used 31 for 91, which is Tsubasa, you'll see Tsubasa with Hyuga's sleeves. You see that? Like that. Okay, so 31 for Hyuga and 30 for Tsubasa and almost all the other players. Okay, so we'll put 30 and then Nita's code, which is 9A. And now when we go to shoot to perform the tiger shot, because we gave Gil Hyuga's abilities, we'll get Nita's picture, which we edited the skin and hair colors of, because he looks very similar to Gil. So now we're getting Gil's picture. But if we try to perform the Neo Tiger shot, you'll notice we are still getting Hyuga's picture. That's because the Neo Tiger picture is a different offset. So this right here is another 31B0 that we need to edit to 39A. And now, so this was at offset 22CAD. You can see down here on the bottom left, 22CAD. So now when when Gil goes to perform the Neo Tiger shot, you'll get the correct picture. All right? So I hope you have found this helpful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.